The lead tonight, the severe weather, which is already causing major issues as millions of Americans hit the roads and take to the skies for their holiday celebrations. Atlanta's airport, the busiest in the United States, is recovering from severe thunderstorm warnings that even forced air traffic controllers today to evacuate their tower. And a potent winter storm is poised to cause even more flight delays and potentially jam up the roads from New York to Ohio, Michigan, into the Dakotas. The FAA expects this is actually going to be the busiest Thanksgiving travel period that we've seen in 15 years. And today, the busiest day of them all. CNN's Derek Van Dam is tracking the latest forecast for us from the CNN Weather Center. We're going to kick things off, though, with our friend Pete Muntean, who is at Reagan National Airport just outside of Washington, D.C. How is it looking for travelers at this hour, Pete?
You know, I just checked the live road traffic right now. A lot of red on the map for folks trying to get to the airport, although things pretty smooth once you get inside the airport. The Terminal 2 TSA checkpoint here, the North Terminal checkpoint is moving pretty smooth. The wait time about 5 minutes, according to Reagan National Airport. 2.7 million people anticipated to be screened at checkpoints like this one across the country when the day is said and done. The big day still ahead, though. Sunday will be the biggest of the Thanksgiving rush. Everybody coming home all at once. That's when TSA anticipates screening 3 million people in total. A thing to underscore here is that the cancellations today have remained only in the dozens, but the delays really climbed into the thousands. This is the departures board here at DCA. You can see some yellow around Atlanta. The hangover from the problems there earlier today when the control tower had to close down for about 10 minutes could be completely evacuated, a condition called ATC 0, because of heavy winds and severe storms there. Spoken to travelers here today from North Carolina, from Texas, going to Michigan. They say they're really taking all of these snags today in stride. Listen.
It was a 70-passenger plane with 50 people on it, so it was like, actually, I don't know. I expected it to be packed, and it was not, so that was great.
Pretty easy day.
Yeah, I don't know why we've been taking the car for years instead of just flying here.
You gotta be flexible and roll with it, and if opportunity presents, which was this, because it was nonstop, I took it.
Be patient. That's the key. Just be patient, go with the flow.
Don't check bags in. It'll save you some time. Try to travel light if possible, but also, be kind to others. Let people pass if they're trying to catch a quick connection, and just keep it simple.
Here's the deal. We could see some ground stops, according to the Federal Aviation Administration, as the day and the night goes on here at Reagan National Airport. It's on the list. Philadelphia, also the 3 New York airports, Newark Liberty, LaGuardia, and JFK. Also in Atlanta again, not totally out of the woods yet, and still some bad weather out there. Of course, a lot of people are going to consider driving instead. And AAA says of the 80 million people it anticipates traveling 50 miles or more during this Thanksgiving rush, about 90% of them will drive. Right now is kind of the worst time. The confluence of folks going home from school or maybe even going home from work if they were working today, combined with holiday travel, it can really pump up the normal traffic to about 4 times the norm when it all meets together. So if you're going to leave tomorrow, leave early in the day, AAA says, or consider waiting till Thanksgiving Day when things are a lot more smooth.
So my grandparents did for years. They would drive Thursday morning, and I like that advice. Keep it simple and be kind from that traveler you spoke with. Pete, thank you. Well, this blast of Arctic cold air that is set to sweep across the country could really have an impact on holiday travel, both in the skies and on the roads. A number of states are already under winter weather alerts as this large system moves through into the East Coast. Look at that there. CNN's Derek Van Dam is tracking it for us in the CNN Weather Center. Derek?
Erica, certainly challenging holiday travel conditions across the Deep South. Remember, earlier this morning, we had a ground stop at Atlanta's Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport because of strong thunderstorms that moved through. Now we've got a renewed threat of additional thunderstorms to the west of Atlanta metropolitan, highlighting this area across central Alabama. Damaging winds, a couple of tornadoes, large hail cannot be ruled out, according to the Storm Prediction Center. It's part of a larger storm system that's overspreading rain to the East Coast. I'm going to stop this high-res forecast radar imagery at 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. JFK to Boston, all the way to the nation's capital, could be some rain impacting I-95 corridor and some of the airports there. And then we start to see the cold air wrap in behind it, helping kick in the lake effect snow machine. We have several states with winter weather alerts, and we won't be measuring this in inches. This will be in feet for some locations across northern Michigan, Wisconsin, and into portions of Minnesota. Several inches of snow for western Michigan as well. So potentially some travel delays at the airports. O'Hare on Wednesday, LaGuardia to Boston, all the way down to the nation's capital. But by Thursday, Thanksgiving Day, that cold front responsible for the wild weather moves off the East Coast. We can breathe a sigh of relief because things are going to clear out, with the exception of some shower and thunderstorm weather across southern Florida as the tail end of that cold front moves through. But it's going to dramatically cool our temperatures, bringing us back to more seasonable daytime highs as we end off the holiday week. Erica?
All right, Derek, appreciate it. Thank you. Joining me now, the International President for the Association of Flight Attendants, Sarah Nelson, and Expedia travel expert Christy Hudson. It's good to see you both. So, Sarah, it has now been 12 days since the government officially reopened following the longest shutdown in history. Is air travel finally back to normal?
Air travel is not going to be back to normal for quite some time, and the weather combined with the stretched staffing both at TSA and at our air traffic control is going to make things a little bit harder. So if things are slowed down, that's for safety, and people really need to remember that, give themselves plenty of time when they're coming to the airport. Looking ahead, also checking your flight ahead of time, making sure that you're packing in layers, you're bringing your empty water bottle to fill on the other side of security, and making sure that you're packing your bag from an empty bag so that you don't have any prohibited items that would slow you down too.
Yeah, you don't want it to slow you down, and the people behind you don't want that either. Christy, for travelers who may be impacted, Sarah mentioned the weather. There could be some slowdowns as well. If a flight is severely delayed or canceled, what about a refund? How should they handle that?
Yeah, there are a few things you can do to be prepared. Luckily, cancellations are statistically pretty rare. Delays, not so much. So if you do find yourself this weekend on a canceled flight or you're going to miss a connection, there's a couple things you can do. First is get where you're going. So go speak to the gate agent. At the same time that you're waiting for the gate agent, pull open the airline app and start a chat with a representative or call to see who can get you sorted first. Another thing you're going to want to do is call your hotel or your car rental company and let them know if you're going to miss a pickup window or miss your check-in time so that you're not marked a no-show and forfeiting those reservations. A lot of times you are going to be eligible for some kind of compensation or accommodation if you are canceled. Delays, it depends how severe the delay is.
All right, so as we look at all of that, the Transportation Department launched a nationwide campaign urging travelers to improve their behavior. Here's a little bit of what Secretary Duffy had to say.
I would encourage people to maybe dress a little better, which encourages us to maybe behave a little better. Let's try not to wear slippers and pajamas as we come to the airport.
Don't come in your PJs. Be nicer to everybody. Sarah, do you think these suggestions, in all seriousness, could that help to improve air travel? We're looking at some live pictures here of Reagan National right now.
Encouragement to be kind and nice to each other is a very good thing. It's a really important thing to remember. We do this magic of flight by coming together with a little bit of solidarity, understanding that we're checking a little bit of our own freedoms in a small amount of space. We got to put our tray table up. We got to have our seatbelts on. We got to stow our bags and make sure that you're not putting coats in the overhead bins where someone's bag could go. So your coat's going to get squashed. Just be thoughtful about the people around you. It's going to go a lot further. And flight attendants really would just like to encourage people to keep their shoes and socks on. It's good for your safety. It's easier for getting through the airport, and we're all going to be a lot happier on board.
I will second that. I may not be a flight attendant, but as a frequent traveler, yes, please keep your shoes and socks on. Really quickly, Christy, before I let you go, when we look at the roads, we heard the numbers there earlier. I think at this point, at least 73 million people expected to travel by car overall this holiday. When it comes to severe weather, any advice for families who can't escape traveling on these busy times?
Yeah, everything is just going to take longer. So build in that time when you're leaving home, leave in the wee hours of the morning, reserve your parking spot ahead of time so that there's smoother travels there. Make sure you're bringing a carry-on instead of checking a bag. That helps you skip an entire queue at the airport. So all of these little things can really pile up to make sure that you're optimizing your time. You're going to get through security as fast as possible, and then just be patient.
There you go. And maybe pack a snack. Never hurts. Sarah Nelson, Christy Hudson, thank you both. Happy Thanksgiving.
Thanks, Erica. Thank you, Cruz, too. And thank you. Happy Thanksgiving.